Chair, and I recognize our newest member, Ms. Stansbury.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, and thank you, Ranking Member, and to all my colleagues. It's truly an honor to be here to serve on this committee with you all. Thank you for allowing me to serve. And I'm especially excited and honored to be able to be here today with our administrator / senator. And also I wanted to say, as a former federal employee, thank you to NASA employees, staff, and researchers for the important work that you do. We so appreciate you. NASA's work is critical, of course, not only to taking us to the far reaches of space, but also for understanding our planet here at home, and particularly our understanding of our planetary systems and climate change and how that's transforming our communities. And in New Mexico, my home state, that of course is being manifest in terms of chronic drought, extreme fires, and really an uncertain future. And so I am tremendously excited to see the increases for the Earth Sciences program at NASA in this budget, because I think they're extremely important. But NASA, Madam Chairwoman, is also extremely important as an economic engine for all of our states, and particularly in New Mexico, where we have a very large aerospace industry that is growing daily and that we are working hard to grow, and is a powerhouse in its own right in aerospace. Also, of course, NASA is a leader in advancing research and innovation and American competitiveness in general, and in growing our STEM workforce. And I believe, Madam Chairwoman, that we are at a critical inflection point in our country, in our history, and in our future in restoring science to its proper place, in informing our decision-making, in growing and diversifying our STEM workforce and our economy, and in deploying science to tackle our biggest challenges, especially in global climate change. And so, Madam Chair, Mr. Administrator, my question is really focused on NASA's view of our home planet, and particularly the role that NASA plays in climate change. Madam Chair mentioned in her opening that I'm a former employee of OMB, and one of my duties there was actually working on the Landsat program. And one of the significant tensions that we always found with NASA's budget was in balancing the space missions and the Earth-based missions that NASA has. And so, as I said, I was very pleased to see the increase in Earth Sciences. And so, Mr. Administrator, I'd like to hear more about how you see NASA's role in the Earth Sciences and advancing our understanding of climate change, and how that fits into the Biden administration's overall climate science agenda.
There is a $300 million increase in science in this NASA budget. Earth science is a major part of that. In addition to the present unbelievable instruments that we have up in orbit, measuring very precisely what is happening to the Earth's climate. It was just announced that we are going to put up a series of 5 great observatories over the course of the next decade. The first is a joint one with India that will occur in January of next year. And these 5 great observatories are all going to collate their information and talk to each other in a 3D dimension of what's happening to our Earth by looking at land, water, ice, and the atmosphere. That is going to bring us a new dimension of information in addition to our very precise instruments that are remotely sensing what's happening on the Earth. So the scientific world is quite excited about not only what's happening in planetary science as we project out, but what we are doing with regard to understanding what is happening here, our own planet.
Thank you. And Madam Chairwoman and Mr. Administrator, in the interest of time, I would just like to also echo many of the words that we heard today about diversifying our STEM workforce and our aerospace workforce. A recent study issued by this committee showed that the ratio of men to women in aerospace, and that NASA is still 3-1, and persons of color are still outnumbered 3-1 in our federal workforce in this space as well. And I think it's critical that we get more women and people of color serving in our federal agencies and in the industry. And with that, thank you, Madam Chair. I yield back.